This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 686 for December 14th, 2020. The Navy SEALs of Biscuits.
You call that teabagging?
That wasn't that horrible.
No, I'm keeping that in. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Kill me now, please. I'm
And
dying.
I'm just going to put the PSA out there now. This is the show that we have to take notes for titles.
Yes. Keep that in mind, yes. Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. You know the biz by this point, behind the scenes, early access, $5 a month. Not per episode, per month. It's super cheap. You get a bunch of great audio now that we keep making more shows. You help me pay for hosting all of these shows, and then you get us closer to the $250 goal of me playing some scary games live on stream and crying, probably. If you're new to the show, this is our last regular episode of the year. We'll have 2 special episodes after this while we're on vacation. Next week will be the top 10 of 2020 episode. The week after that will be the 2021 predictions episode, where we kind of look back at our hilariously incorrect predictions of the year and make some hilariously incorrect ones about the next year.
Yes.
So both of those are coming back. After those, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled show, which will get underway right now. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, unfortunately, I've only really been playing one game.
A lot of one game.
A whole lot of one game, and my mission failed to beat said one game in time for Game of the Year.
Hey, to make you feel better, I had that thought in my head, and then I just started doing the story. It's like, there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
The worst thing is I'm pretty sure I've only got 3 sections of... Oh, by the way, for those people who don't know, I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I should probably say that.
Yeah, I'm also playing a lot of that this week.
Yes, so I've only got 3 areas left. That's the worst thing.
Oh, jeez.
But within that 3 areas also includes the order missions, the finding the people, the killing of the people,
Yep.
the being incredibly stupid. So there was an area that had a treasure chest inside of a building. I'm on the way past it. I'm just going to collect the treasure chest anyway. So it was a small village with a couple of guards. So I went and I killed all the guards.
As you
So
do.
I could focus on getting this treasure chest. It's got a front door. It's got a back door. The back door is barred. And the treasure chest is inside, slightly underground. So I'm like, okay. So this is probably got a hole in the floor somewhere. So you're inside the building. So I'm doing laps around the building trying to find an angle to shoot through the windows to shoot at the barred door.
Right.
So I can shoot the barred door out, then get in through the back door, and then, take care of business, get my treasure, and GTFO.
Mm-hmm.
However, there was no windows I could shoot through the barred door.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so that's not the case. This is on a hill. The treasure looks like it's slightly underground. I'm wondering if this is one of those ones where there's a secret tunnel that leads to it.
Right.
So I start doing the Finabachi sequence spiral around the building.
Right.
Trying to find the tunnel in question or the well to shoot the lid off and then, drop down and then get the secret entrance that way. 25 minutes later, I walk up to the front door and open it.
Oh, God. Ta-da, you did it.
It wasn't locked.
No,
There was no
of course
key I
not.
needed to find. It was just the front door I could go in.
Just some person's house. So
I
good.
was so annoyed.
Oh, my God.
The worst one of those that I have had was the same thing, where there was a barred door, and there was a door that I could not open. Actually couldn't open. So I'm throwing, oil jars at it. I'm checking to see if there's another underground thing to get to this. no, that section was closed off for a quest.
Yep.
It ran into the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, I know this because after 30 minutes of trying to figure out how the hell to get into this thing, I looked it up, and it's like, oh yeah, just once you get this quest, you can get into this. And I'm like, seriously?
Because you could see behind it where it's like, there's a room in there, let me in.
And you could see that the door isn't even connected with the wall all the way, so you could see in between it and see that there's something there.
Yeah, man.
And I bet you this is one of the ones in like the church underground area?
100%. Yep.
Because guess what? You're not the only one who did that. I did that too.
Yeah, where you have to like kidnap that lady later. It's like, oh, it's just open. I'll just walk right in here. Great, thanks. My frustration in Valhalla this week was I finished another area, and then I went and I talked to the lady that takes care of the map.
Randvi.
Yes, Randvi. And then I went and I did a bunch of other stuff, and then I was just like, and where's my next story mission? What do I do? What am I doing? And I was like, oh no, did I run into like one of those story progression bugs? So I'm like Googling and I'm like looking at a walkthrough, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually like pretty far into the game, but like what's the next step? Going back and talking to Randvi to go pledge to another area, dummy.
Yep.
Which is why I got into the situation this week where I sent Moon a surprised Pikachu JPEG of, all right, I'll go talk to this lady that like brews the potions so I can see visions and stuff. She wants me to collect a whole bunch of stuff, whatever. I'll just go do it since I don't know what to do. And then that
happened.
Yeah, that brings me to another landmass, and I was just like, the what? I'm doing what? Like, spoiler. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. I finished all that stuff. I go to another spoiler, and I'm like, oh no, there's even more. God, okay. Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
which in the spoiler area, there's a bunch of chests that you can get in there that you can't seem to readily get to. Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be worth it.
Yeah.
The only reason that's worth it is if you're going for that shiny platinum /1000G.
I don't know if I'm.
Otherwise, those give you 5 skill points.
Woohoo!
For getting them all.
Whoopity doo! Yeah, and I picked up one, and it's like, I looked at the like offering table, and they're like, put all 30 in here, and I was like, nope, never mind. I got other stuff to do in another area.
This guy did it because this guy's an idiot.
Well, I did like a bunch of the other stuff where it's like, I'll do some of the like cool side missions and stuff, but like I'm not. I'm at the point in this game where if I run up to
the flighting in that area is great.
Oh, I don't know if I've run into that one. I'll have to go find that. I'm at the point with this game where I'm enjoying it greatly. If there's ever a point where it's just like, figure out these clues, and I'm like, all right, here's my phone on Google. Like, I don't have time for the game to be like, read these notes and figure it out. It's like, nope. I do not have time for this.
It's weird how handholdy the game can be with certain quests and objectives, and how other ones it's just like, I don't know, figure it out.
Yeah, it's like, didn't you figure out this riddle on this note? It's like, no.
Yeah. There's some of them where it's cool, where it's like, okay, if you go to where this river and this river meets, you might potentially find something. All right,
yeah,
cool. There's
I'm
another one where it's like, it's in this landmass. It's like, nope, screw you, I'm out.
and
this one that's got one of those the treasure maps. It's got a drawing and it's named after thing. I think it actually might be London's treasure map, one of London's ones. And it's got a drawing. And the drawing is like a 2-year-old drew it. Like, it's really, really bad. But the treasure itself is about 600 meters outside of London. Like, it's not even close to being in London. And it's just
man.
The name of this thing lies.
Right, like, why would you do this?
Like, to top it all off, I've been doing a pretty good job of going through and clearing out the areas as I get there. Like, this mission takes me from east to west. I'll do the pinball zigzag up there and collect all the crap as I go. And then there's 2 locations on my map. There are treasure items that you get from killing enemies. I killed those enemies. I got that treasure and the icon hasn't vanished.
Great. Open world weirdness. I love it.
Yeah. So, on top of that, there's also an open world story, like one of the world events, which I can't complete because I'm supposed to take this guy into this base and then kill everybody. I killed everybody first, found the guy, took him to the base, nothing happens.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's fun. But I really like Valhalla.
Yeah, I'm about 40 hours and change in it now.
50% of the way there.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm the battle system hasn't really changed that much. I'm getting way better at parrying, which is really great because every time you do one of those stun attacks and you use the enemy's weapon to murder them in some sort of horrific fashion, that's really good every time.
Yep.
I've got the shield equipped that if you do a perfect parry or like a very last minute one, your shield and weapon catch on fire.
Oh,
That's pretty awesome.
I gotta find that. Jeez.
Nice.
Man.
I was using 2 axes, and then I did a bunch of specking. I'm at power level 370 now.
Wow. I'm like 135?
All that
I'm like
yellow
120.
mess. All the
Yeah.
yellow mess, all done. All the blue mess, all done. I'm working on the red mess now, and I've only got like 2 left to get, like 2 constellations left. After I was messing around with the dual axes, then I thought, well, I'm just going to put a giant halberd on one hand and then a spear on the other, because one of the red upgrades allows you to one-hand, two-handed weapons.
Yep, I just got that one so I could do like a 2-handed axe and a shield. It's very strong.
Yes. Doing it with huge weapons on both hands is also super strong.
I bet, man.
I also have the juggling ability, so you can switch your primary weapon on the fly, which is fantastically hilarious. Just like this little juggle animation. It's great.
Yeah.
Just reading it sounds like the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's super duper dumb. Well, on the blue side, the archery side, there's a really great skill called throw weapon. So,
Oh no, I didn't realize I came back. Okay.
So when there's a weapon on the floor, you just hit Y or triangle, and you just pick it up and lash it at the nearest opponent.
You just like chuck it at something.
Yeah, and the animation is dependent on what the weapon is.
I
And it
immediately
does
see a problem.
A lot of
though.
damage.
Yeah. That's
What's
also
the
the
problem?
loot button.
Well, dude, if you're in the middle of a melee fight, you have auto loot, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that you don't kill that other people kill.
Yeah, like this sheep over here where it's like, oh no, I just threw a halberd at the sheep.
Yeah, or people that I accidentally caught on fire while trying to catch someone else on fire.
Oh, that's
I
the best.
may or may not have desynchronized twice through
It happened once
accidentally
to me.
killing civilians.
Yeah.
Dude, I had that pop up twice on a raid where I
Oh,
came in,
wow.
it's like civilian damage will not be whatever accepted or
Right.
whatever. And I'm like, then why are they even here?
Right, get out of here, priest.
I can't tell. There's like 10 guys I'm trying to fight, and there's one priest who keeps running in front of me as I'm trying to take on this big guy. Get out.
What are you guys doing? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I love the poison and the melee abilities for poison and fire. Mostly
Poison
just
is
because I
so
love
strong.
them tossing that thing in the air and then smashing it out the air with the hammer or whatever you're using. Like you just break it as it's falling. Also, I love the fact that if you do that and then run in a circle, the bottle spins in the air as it's coming down towards your axe, which is hilarious to me.
I use the poison arrows a lot with the order people. It's like I use my arrows to hit their weak points to take their stamina bar down. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be hitting them with arrows anyways, I'll just have poison arrows. Let's do a little bit of work for me.
The status effects are very helpful against the legendary beasts.
I bet.
The 3 sisters you have to fight. Have you found one of the sisters yet, Boston?
No, I feel like I'm probably like skirting around 2 of them when I'm wandering around.
The bottom right area of the map where was that quest item was, it's just north of there, so it's like the next zone to the north. So it's probably next on your radar.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm doing London right now with like the murder mystery stuff, which is actually better than I was expecting it to be. That's they were like, "Oh, who killed this guy?" And I'm just like, "I don't care." And right away, I'm like, "Oh no, this is actually pretty interesting." Okay.
So yeah, I really like Valhalla. Like
Ditto.
it's so big though. Like
The deeper I get into it, I feel like the less I can recommend it to
newbies.
no, to like all but the more hardcore Assassin's Creed fans. Like if you loved Odyssey and you loved Origins and you just gotta play more, scoop of Valhalla. If you played both of those and you're like, I'm okay, don't go into Valhalla. Like it's more and it's bigger even after Ubisoft said it wouldn't be bigger because Odyssey was too big. And it's just like, yeah, but what if each map isn't bigger, but we give you more maps? It's like, no, Ubisoft, stop. Like hit them with the newspaper. Like, no, bad.
Yeah, like I've completed all of the non-mainland England land masses now. So I've done 100% in all of those. Like I've done all the world things. I did all the collectibles in those two other places, and got the stupid 5 skill points. Thank you very much. The third landmass that you get, it's not that big. It's actually very, very small, but it's a really cool sequence.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I can't say a lot because there's like, oh look, it's a piece of Eden. Oh, who knows?
Yeah, I ran into that story. So one of my favorite parts of this game has been, this isn't a spoiler. I'm going to talk around the spoilers. One part, you're talking to your brother, and he's like, I'm looking for this person, like this like truth teller. And someone else in the game is like, oh, she's crazy. She's just spouting nonsense. And like my Assassin's Creed ears go up, and I'm like, hello, someone who's talking about stuff they shouldn't be. Let's talk to this lady. And like through this whole huge mission, she's just like, yeah, I got it. Follow me, and then follow me here, and then follow me here, and then you'll be able to see it. And like you see this thing, and I was like, oh, it's a thing. It's an Assassin's Creed thing. Like we're doing the thing. Like we're seeing the stuff. And she's like talking about Isu nonsense. And I was like, yes. Tell me about the Isu.
She literally calls him out by name.
Yeah, and I was just like, yes, please. And I love that Eivor is like, what are you talking about? It's like, shut up, Eivor. She's talking about the Isu. Come on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's having weird dreams, and she's like, I can't comprehend what you're doing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just...
She's having weird dreams, which... So the person you're talking about, can we name them, at least in this instance?
Yeah, I don't think their name matters.
No, the name doesn't really matter. So you've met Fulke.
Yes.
And that whole sequence where your brother is looking at the stone,
yeah,
and Eivor's literally standing there having like a day vision,
yeah,
and Bassam just looks at her as if to say, "Oh, yeah, you don't know what's going on." Sure, says you, who's like swatting at flies around your head, even though there's nothing there. It's like,
yeah, like that dude keeps
nothing.
looking at her like, I've seen this before. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah, and like there's a big story beat that happens after that where it's like, all right, I'm not entirely sure you earned this, but it's going some pretty interesting ways because like,
for the record, I did say the second you met Fulke and she started talking, you would be hooked.
Oh,
like 2 weeks ago I said it.
Yeah, like she's great. Some of the stuff with your brother was interesting to see Eivor so frustrated, where your brother's like, I need to go talk to this person. It's my destiny. This thing is happening, and you're like, you as Eivor is just like, what are you talking? Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you even talking about? Like, what's going on here? And he's like, yeah, don't even worry about it. Just help me find this person. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, where have you been?
The base? What about the camp? The settlement that I'm working really hard at.
Right.
That's the biggest problem that I've been having with her brother too, is that your second in command is hellbent that you were just trying to take everything over from your brother. It's like, no, I am literally doing all of this work because they are not here.
Mm-hmm.
If they were here...
Yeah, Dag is the worst.
I hate Dag.
When you sit in the throne to like help out the people with like, you cut off my horse's tail. As soon as you sit down, Dag's like, oh, it's a throne isn't even cold, and you're sitting in. It's like, shut up, Dag. Can someone kill this dude? Shut up.
I want to kill him.
Yeah, like, please give me the option.
Even before that, before sitting in the throne, when you're telling the tales of the things that you have done and accomplished, like the stuff that you have actually done and accomplished, he's like, oh, you're trying to steal your brother's glory. It's like, dude, he wasn't there. He was on the north side talking to somebody, and I did all of this that I am talking about.
Yeah, those 6 castles that are on fire, that was me.
And I like when you run up to your brother, and you're like, dude, we have to keep making these deals with these people so we can beat the English, we can take over England. Like, you got to stop doing this. He's like, I'm your Jarl. You need to listen to me. And I'm just like, you weren't here. I've taken over most of this map, and you've been with this clearly assassin dude who's like, don't worry about me. I'm nobody. It's like, come on, man. Like, yeah, I know who you are. Everything is permitted. Does that sound familiar? Like, come on. This game is good.
Yeah. It has some issues, but it's still really fun to play and goof around in.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like I've mentioned, like, I don't think Eivor is the best character, but the story this game is telling is a fantastic story so far. Mm-hmm. Like, everything around Eivor is great.
Yeah.
Susan can go away. The Raven Susan, whatever its name is. They can just go right away. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, your abilities are not good enough to make me want to ever go into your stupid flighty eagle mode. Like, Cassandra's hawk was about a bajillion times better. Sorry, eagle. Yeah. She was the eagle bearer.
Well, and like...
Good. I was just going to say, there's only 2 times I've had to use the Raven, and that was because I got into an area that it said I needed to be in, and then the away marker went away.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize that they were above this tower until I pulled up the Raven, and the Raven highlights the tower, and then I can see the guy standing up there. I'm like, why are you up there?
Right, what are you doing up there? Yeah, because like so much of the game, so much of the crow stuff can get around just holding in the right stick, and the game's like, it's this blue guy. He's just up here. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, thanks.
I will say, though, out of everything that's wrong with the crow, the fact that you do a leap of faith and it goes kick it is still great.
Yep, it's really good.
Like, I'm fine with them with it being crap, but just the fact that it does crow sounds instead of eagle is a nice little chef's kiss moment. I will say, you guys sound like you are about at the point where you start getting some gut punches in the story, because so far this week I got kicked in the gut 3 times by this game.
Yeah, it really feels like it's like all of the storyline stuff is coming together, because for the first like 30 hours of this game, it's like, go to this area, make friends. Oh yeah, we'll help you when you need it. And it's like, okay, this is probably all going to come together later, and all these people are going to come help me, and we're going to storm some sort of castle, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, after you meet that lady and, like, that story beat starts, it's like, okay, now we're really getting to, like, the meat and, like, the consequences. It's not just, like, Monster of the Week stories, because you can kind of pick each area you want to go in kind of whatever order. It's like, all right, we're starting to pick this stuff up now.
Yeah. Without naming names or giving anything away, let's just say that not everybody makes it through the game.
Oh, for sure. I almost expect that at this point.
But yeah, but nothing will have the good. I hate to phrase it this way, but when Cassandra's fangirl was murdered, I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
When Bayek's little kid friend was murdered, I cared a lot. Like, that was a great moment. Cassandra's fangirl just annoyed me in Odyssey, so it didn't bother me so much when she
was like dead. So early that it's like, I don't know if I care about these characters yet.
Uh-huh. It's done a really good job of building up some characters so it can literally tear them down in front of you.
Sure.
And some people who you think are a-holes are a-holes.
Nice.
So there is comeuppance to be had in the future for you guys.
Good.
And
So my kill list is just going to keep growing.
yes,
Nimp and I are just chanting, dag, 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 dag. Get him.
It's like, just hurry up and turn so I can put an axe in the back of your head.
Right.
Or I'll just do it right now.
He
I
fell
don't
on
care.
the axe. It's so weird. I don't know what happened.
It's weird. He fell on it. He stood back up, fell on it again, and then one fell out of the sky.
Put
Who
him in the
knew?
river.
yeah,
I am
is
in.
a great game. I'm enjoying it.
All three of us are enjoying it, which is exciting. And I don't know who I would recommend. I feel like if I would recommend it to someone, they're probably already playing it. So like, it's a weird audience for this game.
Yes,
It'll be a good 2021 summer game.
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, that's literally all I've been playing because the Mad March for Game of the Year ended this week and I failed in my one mission.
We're free. Well, you guys are free. I still need to edit and post it, but
yeah, sucks to be you. Nim, tell me what you've been playing.
All right, so my wife and kids have been playing a lot of Minecraft on the PS4, so that has given me a lot less time to play my normal games. So I've been picking up Apex off and on.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've been doing so with. I have been playing with a lot of randoms, and I've had a lot of good teams and a lot of really SE teams. I have dropped in at the beginning of a match with a group of other teams and had to beat several people to death before I was finally killed.
Just punching like seven people.
Dude, like I don't remember the guy's name, but he's the Fortress. He's got like all the extra padding. His name starts with a G. I can't remember his name. Yeah. He's usually who I play as.
Oh, nice.
And that guy hits hard.
Yeah.
So I ran up on this other guy who was shooting me and just punched him out, managed to heal. His other teammate came down the steps, punched them out. Then their other teammate came down the steps, punched them out, wiped the whole squad with nothing but melee. Yeah. And then I got taken out by another group, and my other teammate tried to help revive me. They got taken down. And then our third teammate is somewhere on the map.
It's just like a dust trail behind him, like, pew!
Yeah. I don't know, but it's fun. I like the holiday remix music that they've put in the game.
Oh.
That is my music choice for that now. That's pretty funny. I played 2 of the train modes.
Yeah, the Winter Express or whatever it's called.
Yeah, which
is Holidays back?
Yeah.
Great.
So it's interesting. But that's about it really for Apex. After that, played some Greedfall. I haven't touched this in a while. It's been on the back burner because I knew that not a whole lot of people would play it, so I didn't have to worry about spoilers.
Right.
So I left a lot of notes on where I was at. That way I knew what I was supposed to be doing.
It's
Picked right back up.
on my winter games to play list.
Yeah. It's getting an updated version for the new consoles pretty soon, though.
I believe so, yeah. They came out with an announcement recently.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still really liking this. Just the random I'm in this area that I was supposed to talk to this bridge leader, and I have one of the natives in my party, and she tells you up front when you go into this building, you better not take me in here because I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold myself back.
Don't take Legion on the flotilla ships. It's not the best idea.
But I was like, screw it, whatever. I don't care. Let's just go in here because I've got you or one other person. Like I've got 3 party members altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So I could swap you out for one of the other guy that I'm not using, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So I bring her in. We get 2 minutes in this conversation, and she's like already ready to go, like sword unsheathed, ready to run.
Let's do it.
And I'm just like, I like where you're going, but let's just pull it back a little bit.
I love
so
the
I can
energy.
figure out what's happening. Yeah.
A couple notes.
So I talked her down, talked to the guy that I was supposed to talk to. He is a douche. I do want to kill him, but I need to do things before we kill him.
Right.
So I basically told my companion, not right now.
Yeah.
But later.
Give me like 30 minutes. I just need this thing, and then I'll give you the signal.
Yeah. It's like, I will unlock the door, and you can just run free. I don't care.
Right.
But, so I like that they've got random elements like that in this game. It's really cool. And it's putting off a lot of good Dragon Age vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just, you got characters who are just talking to each other in your party who really don't like each other, or they really love each other.
Nice.
And it's just funny listening to them banter while you're in the middle of fighting and you're taking on these 10 guys. And this one guy's like, so what are you thinking of doing for dinner tonight? And then you just behead somebody. It's like...
That's the good stuff.
Yeah. Next game
about Dragon Age was when you got into the conversation right after a fight and you're literally just drenched in blood.
Covered in blood.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins did it really funny because it was basically you either had blood on or you had it off.
Yeah.
And blood on was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter if you stabbed like a rat. You were just covered in blood. So the next game after that, Genshin Impact, been playing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot more co-op with the dungeons, which has been a lot of fun. There have been a lot of times where the servers have just been slow, where there's just not a whole lot of people on when I'm playing. So there'll be a world with me and 2 other people, and we're just sitting there shooting the breeze, waiting for a 4th person to show up. And then we just sit there and strategize, and then we take the dungeon on with just us 3, and it goes great.
Oh, nice.
Or it goes poorly, depending on who spec'd out for who. So.
Right. Man, that new area they just showed looks really good.
Yeah.
The icy, snowy area. Whew.
Which is going to play havoc with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Especially if you're running a water character like Barbara for healing. It's going to suck because you're constantly going to be frozen.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
But it's been a lot of fun. I haven't run into very many people who are D-bags, which is surprising. It's either everyone's talking or nobody's talking in chat.
Right.
That's it. And everyone knows what they're there to do. Everyone does it. We get in, we get out. Everything's
try and do
go.
it as fast as you can.
Yep. So that's been a lot of fun. The last game that I played was Minecraft on the PS4 with my kids and wife. We're not doing 4-player. It's mostly just them playing with them using me as the person to ask questions to, which I haven't played a Minecraft game since the 360 games.
Right.
And those are woefully out of date.
Yeah.
I looked up the trophy list because my wife was trying to figure out how to do something, and I looked up the trophy list on the PS4, and there's like 15 updates or something like that they've added.
There's like 15 different categories of trophies. And it's like, no.
And so she's sitting here asking me questions like, how do you make pumpkin pie? I'm like, baby, I don't know. There wasn't pumpkin pie in the game when I played it. I assume you need a pumpkin. Yeah, I'm assuming you need pumpkin, sugar, and milk or something like that.
Yeah.
Turns out you need pumpkin, sugar, and an egg. So
close.
A lot of times you can kind of piece it together with real world stuff.
Right.
You'd be like, okay, this is probably where you're going to find this item or what you need to make this item. And other times there's just random questions that she'll ask me. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I also had to look up because they are both, my son and my wife are working on the trophy to get, ride a minecart for 500 meters or something like that. And I told my wife, I'm pretty sure 1 block equals 1 meter.
Yep.
She's like, no, that can't be right. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it is. And I looked it up and I'm like, yes, that is right.
Oh, wow.
So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to count in a direction because it can't be a loop. It has to be actually 500 meters.
Oh, wow.
Count out, post a sign every 50 meters or every 100 meters or something like that so you know where you're at and where you're building. So they are building an express lane from their potato farm to the next village to a third village.
Oh, jeez.
And that seems like it should be the distance that they need to get this trophy.
Man, that's fun.
Meantime, she's sitting there asking me, hey, what's an acceleration rail? I don't know. I assume that accelerates you.
Yeah.
Well, what is this? It was something like what's a detachment rail or something like that. I don't even remember what it was. Like, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does.
None of these things were in the game.
Yeah. So, or a detection rail. That's what it was. I'm like, yeah, I have no clue what that does. What does it do, Moon?
When the minecart goes over it, it basically sends a positive signal. So you could have it so that if someone's riding a minecart and you want to get really complicated with it, they hit that and then in front of them, a redstone leads to in front of them a big sign saying, welcome!
Oh, okay.
I figured it was something to actually do with it registering something.
Like a pressure plate.
Based off of the name. I was like, I don't know what you do with that.
Try it out, man.
Yeah. But that's all I've been playing besides Assassin's Creed. And giving up on not beating that game.
Yeah. 2 quick updates for me. Stellaris, Oh god. So last week I wasted so much time in this game. And like once you get your empire largely set up, you don't have to. It's not like playing Assassin's Creed where your hand is on the controller all the time. Like I'm kind of doing other stuff, so it's not really like wasted time because I'm like reading books to my kid or whatever. It's still time. I at the very end, I failed doing that Holy Worlds thing I was talking about last week. So the trophy is, as a spiritualist empire, you need to colonize 4 Holy Worlds. So I rolled a couple of games. I didn't get any of the empires that had Holy Worlds until this very last game. I got them. It's like a very clear message like, look, do not desecrate our Holy Worlds or we will come for you. Like it's like, okay, cool. And they're like Holy Protectorate is their title. It's like, okay, cool. Found them. They were unhappy with something I had done at some point, so their borders were closed to me for the entire game. Not optimal. I can get around it by blowing them to bits. So I got my fleet strength. Your fleet strength at the very beginning starts at like 100. I got mine up to about 175,000. And at that point, the game is like, cool, now you're stronger than they are. Go crazy. It's like, okay, cool. I'm playing Iron Man mode, so I can't save manually, because that's the only way that trophies or achievements pop, which is fine. It's more fun that way. So I was like, all right, 2 of their planets are outside of their borders. I will plant a colony ship right above them, and they'll be ready. I'm going to declare war on them, and I'm going to start blowing them to bits. I'm just going to colonize those 2 planets. And I couldn't because one of them was their capital world, and they had colonized one of the other worlds. It's like, ugh, that's a bummer. Okay, I'll just take them over. That should do it. Taking them over means I have to invade with an army, and I have to do orbital bombardment just to like...
soften them up a little bit.
To put it plainly, wipe all of the population off of that planet.
To make them more pliable for future negotiations.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're just going to glass the place.
100%. Which is a perfect term for it, because by bombarding those planets, I removed the holy planet status from them, which means I colonized 2 holy planets and 2 totally dead planets, thus negating the trophy. I was just like, great.
Fun fact, by the way, I learned that terminology from the Halo novels, which are great.
Mm-hmm.
So that was frustrating. Now I have to do the whole thing over again, but I feel like I learned a little bit more where it's like, all right, if I don't find them super fast and their borders are close to me and they've already colonized these planets, start a new game. Because like you've already gotten to the point where it's not going to work out and it's not going to go well. So I thought I would do one of the other really hard trophies, because I'm now down to 3 just for the platinum. And I don't know how to do one of the other ones. I'll have to Google that. The one is that I just got today is you have to enlighten a Bronze Age civilization. So essentially, you're going to find a civilization that's either Stone or Bronze Age. Then you have to use an option called technological enlightenment, where you basically spend a whole bunch of time bringing their society up to the level that yours is. So they will be pre-FTL, you're bringing them up to FTL. And as a result, you are their protectorate, so they're sort of indebted to you. You can release them later if you want. The problem is, the more primitive their society is, the longer it takes to bring them up to FTL, obviously. So I found a Stone Age one, which will work. It has to be Stone or Bronze Age. It took the better part of 100 years in game time for that to succeed. And I was like, I really hope this trophy works, because I'm just kind of watching this progress bar like click up 1% every year, and I hope this doesn't go poorly. Thankfully, as soon as that message popped up where it's like, hey, you integrated them in, and the trophy popped up, I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, so now I only have 2. The Holy World's 1, and then something where it's like, you have to take the trophy of an intergalactic matriarch. And I was like, cool. I've never seen that. I don't know what that means. I've never seen an intergalactic matriarch. I will have to Google that and figure out whatever the hell I'm supposed to do.
I bet you there's a bug species.
Well, I think there are these things in the game called end game crises, and it's basically like 150 years have passed. A giant destructive force is going to come in. There's a couple of different varieties. You need to have been prepared to fight it off, otherwise it just sweeps and destroys the galaxy. I usually play with that off because that's not always super fun, especially if you're going for like a pacifist run or something like that, or like a technology run, if you're not going for like a militaristic run. So I will probably have to run with that and kind of roll the dice, which is fine. But Stellaris continues to be great. Last game, Destiny 2, quick update, the raid team, we finished the 3rd encounter out of 4. We're getting faster and faster at the first encounter, which is really great. As we're like just getting through the raid for the first time, everyone has the same roles and same teams as we go in, so it's just sort of like, everyone in positions, let's do it. We did it. All right, let's go do the thing. The second boss gave us trouble, as usual, because it's just there's so many moving parts in that fight that it's really easy for things to get out of sync, and just kind of the boss will wipe you really quickly. And we did the third boss on our like second or third try. It's so significantly easier than the second boss. It's crazy. It's also one of the coolest looking things in a Destiny raid, because essentially you're in a space station and it is crashing into the planet you just came from. So as the fight progresses, you're seeing the planet get closer and closer in the windows outside. And then at some point you break atmosphere, so the whole ship is on fire as it's burning up in entry. So like you're fighting while the whole ship is on fire. It's very cool. So now we're sort of fighting through the final boss, which is not as complicated as it seemed, which is really nice. The second boss, the difficulty there, that probably should have been the final boss, because it is way harder than anything else in the raid. Not impossible, but just sort of like, yeah, all the rest of this stuff is real manageable. We already did the hard stuff. So far, one of the best raids in the Destiny franchise. It's definitely a high point. They have really nailed it on this one. And we're getting pretty close to finishing it. And we get to do all the fun challenges and all the fun triumphs. But that's all I've been playing this week. Let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of December 14th, 2020. Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend comes out on the Switch. This is the Final Fantasy Legend 1, 2, and 3 for the Game Boy, kind of presented as they were originally, which for me is a large boon because I love all three of those very difficult, kind of obtuse games. For most people out there, probably not a super selling point, but that's okay. Little bit of a bummer they didn't bring the DS remakes over here, which is kind of a weird thing.
Is this the one that's only available until March?
No, that's the Fire Emblem one.
Okay.
This is Square Enix, so they're just like, yeah, man, like buy these old Game Boy games, whatever. So excited to try those out this week. They will probably hold up for me, but maybe not to many other people. Yeah, if you do decide to play these, 2 and 3 are 3 is a very straightforward game. 2 less so. 1 is very, very difficult. Please play with a walkthrough. I promise you, you will need it. I will need it. I have played this game about a dozen times. It's hard. It is obtuse. It is really weird. So please play with a walkthrough. And I'm 99% sure this is coming out this week. Dicey Dungeons should be coming out on the Switch on the 15th. I'm very curious to see how they're going to translate this to the Switch, because we played Dicey Dungeons last year on We Roguelike It 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very good. It is a genuinely very good game. And I'm hoping it being on the Switch means that more people can check it out, because it is surprisingly very great. All right, news stories. The VGA 2020s happened. I told Moon that there wasn't anything he needed to watch it for. I was wrong. It is also the year of all of these trailers are too effing long. If your trailer is 4.5 minutes long, rethink that. Crimson Desert and Arc 2. Start of the show, we're just gonna do some highlights here that some of us have watched or just seen endless gifs of on Twitter. Sephiroth is in Smash, which was a really great video where it looked like he killed Mario, which was fantastic.
And all the memes that came from that.
Yeah, it's really good. The initiative is working on Perfect Dark, which was one of the bigger surprises of this game, where it's kind of a cool, like almost the Division looking trailer, where this drone is flying through a big building. And then at the end, it's like, isn't that right, Agent Dark? And I was like, but what?
Yeah, stop me. But is it just me, or did that look a little bit cyberpunky to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
It did a little, yeah.
Someone has started a bonfire in the neighborhood, which means I'm punished for opening my window again. Jerks.
Or the forest is on fire again.
No, not a forest this time.
If it's not yet, it's about to be.
Yeah. BioWare. Oh my god.
Stop it. Just stop. Can we bring back Giant Bomb's Game of the Year award, where it's just stop?
It's just stop.
BioWare, just stop.
BioWare, how do you not learn this lesson? We already know you're working on Dragon Age. Stop showing it. You have nothing to show. You showed Solus for like 15 seconds, and you're like, yeah, Dragon Age, we're doing the thing. And it's like, yes, stop. It's nowhere close. Like, it's not coming out anytime soon. Stop.
Wait until the next game, a couple lines down.
Right, yeah, we'll be back on that. The Callisto Protocol was announced, which just...
No. Okay. For these next two, you need to tell people how you have put these in the show.
I wrote Dead Space. It should have been Dead Space 4, crossed it out, said the Callisto Protocol.
Because it looked like a Dead Space game.
100%. Also, in the PUBG universe, which number 1, apparently is a thing. Number 2, what? So either way, very excited about that. After that, Left 4 Dead 3, cross that out. Back 4 Blood reveal trailer. We have talked about it on the show before, that Turtle Rock they're calling it a spiritual successor. It's just Left 4 Dead 3. Literally the thing, the 4 characters, all the different zombies. There's like a spitter in there. There's like a 20-foot zombie. It looks very good. I will be purchasing that on Xbox, expecting that everyone else in the community will be purchasing it on that platform as well.
Well,
Wink.
I already know that I will be able to rope 2 people into it. Probably
Perfect.
3.
Sounds like we got 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
We could be back for Blood. Heyo. Speaking of the BioWare not learning their lesson, there's a Mass Effect reveal trailer.
Called Mass Effect Will Continue.
Number 1. Of course it will. You've already said that. And then, like, on top of that, like... Stop showing Mass Effect. Like, the next thing you need to show about Mass Effect is a, like, 10-minute Metal Gear Solid 3 style trailer, and at the end of it says, by the way, it's out today. Like, that is the next thing you need to show. Shut up. How have you not learned your lesson?
Mm-hmm. Also, sorry about that minor distraction if you're watching the live feed.
Did your headphones
been recording
die?
so long? My headphones are dying.
Ta-da! There was also an incredibly long trailer for Arc 2, featuring Vincent Diesel.
Full credit to Ben Packer of Giant Bomb for immediately dropping The Past and the Furious on Twitter.
Oh, that's really good. This is one of the worst trailers I've seen in a really long time. It is a poorly animated, pre-rendered trailer. How do you do that? How's that happen? And then, like, all of us in the not E3 2020 trailer, I think you, Nimp, was like, I think you had said that it's Ark, and all of us are like, no, it's like a new Turok. It's like it's a brand new game, and it comes up with Ark 2, and I'm just like, really? You spent 4 minutes telling me that there's just Ark 2? You could have just said, yo, we're putting out Ark 2. Here's Vincent Diesel.
Which I could have been behind a Turok with Vin Diesel.
Sure.
100%.
Do it up. I'm way into that.
Or do the Fast and the Furious thing and just get rid of Vin Diesel and put The Rock in there as Turok.
Right. Yeah, either one, yeah. And then, like, right after that, they show this incredibly well-animated trailer for Ark, the animated series. And there's just a list of, like, 16 incredible actors that are all in that. It's just like, Jesus, okay, like, Ark made way more... I know Ark's popular. Apparently, Ark made way more money than I realized.
Yeah, because they released $60 DLC while the game was in early access. There's still a reason why I'll never play that first game. Thank you very much. This is the end of my soapbox.
I forgot about that. That's right. Go to hell, Ark 2. Next up was Open Roads. I wrote, "Oh yeah, that's my S word here," because it is two ladies in a car following a diary, and it looks like one of those games that I'm way into. So, way into that. Disco Elysium Final Cut was announced. This is the console version of Disco Elysium, where they just said, we're not happy just porting it. We're going to voice act the entire thing. So there's that. I'm hopefully you can turn the voice acting off, because I don't want that.
I'll say it. And now with a $300 collector's edition.
Oh God, yeah. But this is one of the more interesting exclusive platform releases, where they're like, coming in March exclusively on PS5 and PS4, coming in May on Switch and Xbox. It's just like, so it's like a 2-month exclusive?
2 months.
Weird. Yeah. Fine. I'm glad it's not going to be like coming in 2024 on Game Pass. It's like, all right, thanks. I apologize for this next game. I will not shut up about this until it is out, and I have been playing it for a while. Amplitude and Sega announced Endless Dungeon. It's a sequel to Dungeon of the Endless. I'm literally the only person that is super hyped about this. I recognize that. I will try to tamp it down. I'm super pumped about this. That's all I'm going to say.
Dungeon of the Endless was fine.
Yes.
I was curious as to why you said you were so hyped about it until you said it's a sequel to that, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, it looks like it's a more tactical version of that, where maybe it's a little more actiony, which is very interesting. I think that's an interesting idea.
It looks great.
It looks very good, yeah. Speaking of looking very good, the PS5 exclusive Season also, oh yeah, that's my S words. This is you're a guy and like investigating a whole bunch of flora and fauna. Looks very good. Also, one of my games. They showed off a pretty good trailer for Elite Dangerous Odyssey, where it's like, oh yeah, you can like wander around the planets on foot, no big deal. Also, it's a first-person shooter. Which I didn't realize. It looks very good.
It looks like they're going to be adding animal life to some planets.
Nice.
Because they were fighting things that were not humans.
Yeah.
And they weren't Thargoids. So
that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
They also showed a game. There was a gameplay reveal trailer for Returnal, which is still, God. Good job, Housemark. That game looks fun as hell. It looks like a third-person, almost bullet hell rogue-like game. Also, It's $70.
Of course it is, dude. It's a next generation game. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like a full priced thing. I thought it was going to be like a $30, $40 like.
Come on.
Housemark. Road 96. This is a really cool procedurally generated adventure game where it looks like you're kind of taking a bunch of splitting paths to try and get from one country to another. Not a super long trailer, but I think the idea alone sounds really cool.
It also sounds like a roguelike, which means you know where it goes.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they do any roguelike stuff, or it's just going to be like you play another story with another character and see if you get a different outcome. We'll see. It Takes Two. They spent like almost 3 minutes showing a trailer for this game that was genuinely baffling that they were taking this long. Like, yes, it's a 2-player co-op game. It's a platformer. I get it. Like, you licensed the song. Okay. Yep. Like,
the trailer was basically a movie trailer with a bunch of one-liners in it.
Right.
And that was about it.
Like, a really baffling one. Like, I understand that there is a wider audience for the VGAs. That trailer was just real weird. Like, it's one of those games that will probably come out and will be a lot of fun. The trailer was just real weird. And then Donald Mustard came on to talk about Fortnite. Master Chief's in there now, who, of course, I purchased because he looks super cool in Fortnite. If you're playing it, there's an exclusive...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Master Chief always looks cool.
Yeah! There's a super cool black outfit he has if you play it on Series X or S, by the by. And then, since this season is all about bounty hunters, Walking Dead's Daryl and the lady I can never remember how to pronounce,
Michonne
are both coming to Fortnite soon, which just everybody's going to be in Fortnite. Like, the three of us are going to be in Fortnite in a couple of years. Why not?
Yep.
Just run out of people.
So, Fortnite is just a multi-platform Smash, correct?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
At least that's the way they're angling, it seems like.
They're very curious to see if someone from the Nintendo side will be in Fortnite at this point. Seems like Samus would be a natural choice, but there doesn't seem to be any rumors out there at the moment.
From what I understand, there's a big push to have the main dude from Fortnite, like the original main, like Jake, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
There's a big push to try and have him as a Fortnite character.
Oh,
as a
interesting.
Smash character.
That'd be great.
Because it would work well. They've already got like a bunch of shooters in there, so why not him?
It's really funny because like he's the main character of this season. Like he's bringing all these bounty hunters together through time, and they keep featuring him. And I'm like, who is this dude?
Literally, I'm pretty sure it's the guy you start with in like the Save the World version.
Yeah, he's like the Fortnite dude, and I'm just like, yeah, but like, who is he? Like Jonesy or something? And it's just like,
yes, Jonesy, that's his last name.
I haven't been playing long enough, and everyone's like, Jonesy is back, and it's like, who's this blonde haired dude? Okay, whatever, like cool. Jonesy seems all right, sure. The VJs were fine. It was hilarious where it's just trailer after trailer after commercial after commercial. Here are the 5 awards. Blah, 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 blah. Trailer. Like they moved through that stuff pretty quick, and that's fine. You're mostly there for the trailers.
Some choices were made. We will not get into them right now.
It was a lot of fun being in the Not E3 2020 channel on the Discord server where like 4 or 5 of us were all watching, where it's a lot of like, what trailer is this for? And then like 2 minutes later, it's like, oh no, dope. And just like, what are you guys watching? Oh no, I caught up. It's Sephiroth. That was a lot of fun. Sort of saying 07 to the Not E3 2020 channel. You lasted us about a good 8 months. So we will send you off and we will see you in the Not E3 2021 channel probably in about 3 weeks. But the VJs were fine. They're always fine. It's fine. Other news story this week, Microsoft announces that xCloud will be coming to PC and iOS in spring. PC, you're going to be able to play xCloud in the Xbox app and a web browser, and then iOS will be a web app. that all the streaming services are doing as like this really great middle finger to Apple, where it's like, cool, I'll just get around it. We'll use your web browser. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. We have to use your web browser, so that's what we're going to do.
Yep. Oh, man. All right, let's move on to questions here this week to sort of wrap up our 2020 questions. T-Bomb Rock says, someone blessed me with a meme and it made me wonder, what would you think the real-world version of the following would be made of and taste like? First one is health potion. I feel
Calpol,
like it would...
but I don't know if that exists over here.
What is it?
Calpol. It's like a sore throat medicine you get when you're a kid.
Oh, okay.
But it's got, like, it usually comes in cherry flavor, but it's that really sickly medicine-y cherry flavor.
Oh, right.
That's absolutely gross.
Yeah. I feel like it would be like carbonated fruit punch, where it's like not unpleasant, but like a weird combo, but it's like, it's healing me. It's not great, though.
Get away from me with carbonated fruit punch.
Yeah, it's like a curse.
My D&D group and I went real nerd on this several years ago. And we had kind of figured that any health potion that wasn't magical would basically have a very earthy, bitter taste to it.
Okay.
Just because of the components that you need to actually make it in-game.
Sure, like herbs and roots and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So...
Well, then our next one is Phoenix Down.
Aniseed, which is called anise over here, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it's a spicy-ass flavor, and it kind of goes with the Phoenix.
I don't think you would taste it, though.
You'd be dead.
You're already dead. Yeah, I think you would just wake up to a burning feeling.
Maybe you had
maybe icy hot all over your body or something like that.
Maybe you have like an aftertaste, or you're like burping up anise all day, where you're like, oh god, I died, but I'm like, got this like heartburn, like, oh god, it wasn't.
It tastes like black licorice.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we're just like, yeah. Elixirs. I feel like elixirs would probably be the one that tastes good, but you never want to use them. So, like, you never know what they taste like.
They're habit forming because they're so awesome.
Or they just taste like Monster, maybe.
Like a good processed sugar drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just Kool-Aid where you're just like, ugh. But someone added too much sugar where you're like, my teeth. Cures for paralysis. That's a good one. Cures for
milkshake, blueberry milkshake. Because it's something to cool you down, something to level you out and stop you from basically being shocked by lightning, which is what paralysis is usually represented by.
Right.
So a nice cold milkshake will get you there.
Yeah, I like it. Cure for poison. I feel like this one would genuinely taste terrible. Like for really no other reason. Like it just probably, maybe it tastes like grass clippings, and you're just like, oh god, like I have to drink it because I'm poisoned, and like that'll kill me, but like this might also kill me. This is miserable.
The cure is worse than the disease, kind of thing.
Right, where it's like, can I just die of poison and suffer and then bring me back with a Phoenix Down? Like I'll deal with the heartburn, but like I don't want to drink the anti-poison. It's too bad.
Just let it run its course.
Yeah, just leave me here on this hill. It's pretty nice. Just come back for me tomorrow. And last one, cures for sleep.
Cures for sleep.
I say smelling salts.
Yeah.
That real rich ammonia smell that just pierces everything. Imagine tasting that as well. Oof. It'll pierce your very soul.
Yeah,
either that or like something super spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, T-Bone Rocks. That was a good question. I liked that. He also asked a question. One of my favorite shopping memories as a young dude was sitting crisscross applesauce in the magazine aisle of the grocery store reading Tips and Tricks magazine. What were some of your favorite magazines that you never bought growing up but read regularly?
I never got neither because I would read the puzzle books, like the stupid 1001 word searches and things like that.
Right.
But all of the gaming magazines in England are all in that stupid plastic film that you can't open, otherwise you get told off for it.
Oh, right.
Like every single one of them.
So we didn't have that many. There were a couple of them like that. And it was always great when you would walk into the magazine aisle and you would see that somebody else had already opened one of those and put it back on the shelf.
And you're like, oh man,
it's
is there a walkthrough on the game I'm struggling with? Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah. But like EGM, tips and tricks.
Mine was always EGM. Like I feel like I had a subscription to Nintendo Power and Play Magazine after that. But I never had the subscription to EGM because like my friends at grade school and high school always did. So it's like, all right, I'll bring in my Nintendo Power. We'll trade during lunch. We'll read it, and then like we'll trade back later.
I grew up in the world of Edge, so
yeah, God, you grew up with Edge, which is great.
All of my money was saved for OXM and Edge. Those were the two I picked up.
Edge is so good.
So I would just always, my parents would do that same thing where it's like we'd go to the grocery store and they would just leave me in the magazine aisle.
Yep, ditto.
So I would just sit there and read everything so I didn't have to have a subscription.
Yeah, like I'd just park over there and be like, I'm fine. You come, I'm not going to move. You can come find me here later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angel Eye asks, I feel like I've asked this question before, but I don't remember the answer, so I'm going to ask again. Do you ever start a game but has been way too long and spend way too long in the character creator to just decide later on that you don't like your character and start over just to recreate them if an edit option is not available? This happened to me Friday with Cyberpunk, where after completing, I'd guess the intro would be the best way to put it. The character looks into a mirror and I decided I didn't really like what I had made.
I've done that before. And I've also done the thing where I've tried to talk myself into, well, maybe they'll grow on me. And then like 5 hours, like, no, this is I need to restart.
I feel like until you get to Mass Effect 2 and they look like a human monster.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that like 99% of the time. Is it looks okay in the character creator and I'm like mostly happy. And then like in the intro, like the camera swings in front of your character to show your character's face. I was like, ooh, no. It looked fine before, but in game, I made a mistake. I gotta go through all this again.
I'm running into that right now with Greedfall, with the character that I created. I didn't notice it in the character creator, and I didn't really notice it until further in the game, but during certain aspects of camera movement, it looks like their face is all scrunched up in the center. And you don't see it until, like I said, the camera pans a certain way, but then you just notice it.
And they just look like a pug dog. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
no.
And it's kind of annoying. But any other time, the character looks fine, and I'm already far enough in where it's like, I don't want to redo this.
Yeah. the camera just can't look at him on that angle.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't think I really do that, to be honest, because I tend to not pay attention to, if I'm going to, as a white dude who has dark hair, like I am a very generic looking guy, so when I create myself, I tend to do generic. Even when I create a female character, it tends to be very generic, and I don't mess with the sliders. That's something I learned from maybe Skyrim. Was like, okay, pick a face type, like face 1 through 9 or whatever that you like, and then stick with that face. Don't go in and make the nose bigger. Actually, I can tell you exactly where I learned this from. I learned this from SmackDown 2, Here Comes the Pain on the PlayStation 2. Because that had a really incredible character creator. And the second you mess with those sliders, they've got like a nose that's like perfectly normal from the front. And then you look at the side and it looks like they've got like someone caved in their eye sockets. But the nose looks fine from the front, but from the side it just looks like a horrible, complete mess. So I learned, pick a default face and stick with it. Like, obviously, like if they've got 50 faces, pick one that suits you and add your facial hair and scars and whatever.
And put your glasses on,
Yes, but other than that, you don't mess with those sliders.
Yeah, I lately I've just been like, if they give me an option between male or female, I will pick female, and then I'll like usually pick like one of the first couple of faces, and then just kind of like leave it, because either it looks fine and I'll just look at that character for the whole game, or they're immediately going to be wearing a helmet and like a full suit of armor. I'm never going to see him again.
Dude, that is the worst when you spend all that time creating the character, and then as soon as you give them armor, it's like you don't see them.
Yeah, like Demon Souls is a perfect one where it's just like, yep, never see this character again for like 100 hours. Until like the ending cutscene is like, who's that?
It's got a whole bunch of armor that literally has the head welded onto the armors.
Yep.
So you can't take the helmet off.
Yeah. Man. And last question here from Poke Chop Salad, ending out our year naturally with a food question. Asking just because of what's happening right this very second in my house, what is your favorite dipping tool / dip combo? For me, I'd go with some Frito scoops and a layered chili cheese dip.
I'm going to let you guys go first here because I got one that's completely out the box.
Oh, I like that. I like not Frito scoops, but regular the Fritos with just like a not like a ranch dip, but just like kind of a sour cream, like sour cream and chive dip, like a regular, like normal chip dip. Like nothing super fancy. I'm not a fancy guy. You know, some normal chip stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would take pita chips and spicy hummus.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong there.
Yeah. But I'm really all about that layered chili cheese dip too.
I'm very hungry, and the sound of that sounds very good. Moon, what's your crazy left field one?
My crazy left field one, or in this case, as it is, it's actually the right field one, because where I come from, the dipping and the dip is a cup of tea and a digestive biscuit or a hobnob. That's your dippers. That's your dip. You go kaplunk and you go humph.
You can't go wrong with that.
I was going to joke about the digestive biscuit, but not the tea. I did not know that was a thing.
Oh, it's a good combo.
Like dipping biscuits, English biscuits, not your American weird biscuits.
No,
dipping,
not like biscuits and gravy biscuits.
Yes, dipping
that'd be very funny.
in tea is genuinely a really big thing over in the UK.
Yeah,
rich tea biscuits will fall apart, so don't use them. Like you dip them in once, and then you pull out a half a biscuit, and you're like, "Well, now I've got half a biscuit in the bottom of my cup, and
now I get to chew my tea."
Yeah, digestives are good, decent consistency. Like decent thickness, get you some good absorption ratio, and then you bring it out and you give it a good nibble. Hobnobs are the king of dippers.
Okay,
they are the Navy SEALs of dipping biscuits.
They're not going to let you down.
No, you dip those things in as many times as you want, and you just dip, get all of the half of a cup of tea in it, and it's still holding on fine.
Oh man,
I love a good biscuit.
I love Foodcast. Oh man,
you say that because you're hungry.
I'm so hungry.
What did you call them? Hobnobs?
Hobnobs, yes. HOBNOBS. There's a chocolate one with chocolate on the top too.
I'm looking it up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Don't put Oreos in there. Oreos go in milk.
No, get away from those American biscuits.
Yeah, Oreos and hot liquids probably are not a great combo.
If you
unless it's nacho chips.
I just realized, I was about to say, if you have a local Wegmans and then promptly realize that Wegmans is very much a New York State kind of thing.
We'll just go down to the Tesco.
Yes.
Yeah, check out the Piggly Wiggly.
Wegmans legitimately has hobnobs in there occasionally because they have literally a UK and Ireland section.
Oh,
and
that's
I'll go in and be like, oh, there's a Lion Bar, and I haven't had one of them in about 8 years, so I think I'll have one of those. And I always keep an eye out for my Yorkshire tea and my hobnobs.
There's a really great English tea store around, like in downtown San Diego, where it's like, oh, this is actually like a family from England and they import everything, and it's all like the stuff you would actually want instead of like, there's like a tourist area, but whatever.
We have rules for tea shopping in our household where it's like, number one, you don't get me nothing in one of those paper wrappers. No individually wrapped tea bags with the little squares and the
Don't give
handles.
me any Liptons.
Scientifically speaking, there's ones with the stupid dippy handles and the ones that come in the stupid wrappers. They don't have good circulation for the water to flow through the tea bag, so therefore the tea always ends up super duper weak. You want a good circle, just a good solid circle tea bag, or if you fancy, you go for the pyramid tea bags, which are optimized for efficiency for water flow.
Nice.
Wow, we went deep.
Yeah. Tea is serious business, man. We have multiple shelves and cabinets and drawers of very nice tea in here. Most of it is loose leaf.
Yeah.
And we have a... Go ahead.
I asked Moon that one time. It's like, hey, when you do milk and tea, do you do milk first or tea first? Knowing full well that this would potentially spark something because I was genuinely
an international incident
online. Online, it's like you can find 5 for yes and 5 for no, and everyone will argue that everyone is wrong.
Right.
Well, do you know why milk last is the correct answer, especially in America? Because depending on the tea bag you procure depends on the strength of the tea. The strength of the tea depends on the quantity of milk needed to balance out the bitterness of the tea.
The alchemy needs to be right.
Is the only correct answer. And if you want a really long show, one day we'll talk about toast and how that is one of the hardest things to make correctly for people.
We don't have enough time to get into Toastgate.
Look, dude, the two T's. The two T's are the things I'm great at. As long as I know you as a person, I will do your two T's correctly. Tea and toast. That's all you need.
That's all you need to survive. The two T's. Moon's two T's. 2 rules for T's. T's for two. All right. Anyways, that's the end of the show.
10 simple rules for dating my two T's.
All right. 10 simple rules for my tea bags. All right, that's our episode. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. This is, as I said before, is our last regular episode of the year. Our 2 special episodes will be airing after this in the upcoming weeks, along with the special December episode of Game Club, along with We Roguelike It and Critical Misses, like everything show's got a little bit here. And we'll be doing our 2 separate ones, and we'll be back in the new year. TVGP.tv, everywhere to find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page, patreon.com/E1M1, $5 a month. I already talked about it at the top. We've been recording forever today, so we're going to leave you with that. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I was doing the math in my head of how many hours we recorded this weekend.
You and I have been recording for
5 hours?
5 hours? Yeah, a little bit over 5 hours. Last week was even longer because we got started early.
Yeah.
Okay, titles? Nib, start with you.
Yep. I'm going to tell you, the titles were slow coming until we got into food talk.
Oh, that's always like that's why I left it for the end, where it's like we're going to leave on a bang here.
All right, first thing I got is Fenerbahce sequence. Go storm some castle. The Navy SEALs of Biscuits. Toastgate. And the 2 T's.
Navy SEALs of Biscuits.
This is going to be food related, isn't it?
The 2 T's. Okay, Moon, what do you have?
I also wanted, and I know it's not going to work because it's going to be vetoed and it's too long, but 10 simple rules for my tea bags.
10 simple rules for dating my tea bags.
Yeah.
I got my first title is really good for SEO if you want to get all the Tool fans to listen, and it's Spiral Out. Does that sound familiar? Blood on is blood everywhere. Don't know if that gets vetoed.
I think it's a little too non sequitur, I think.
And Glass the Place. Which honestly is a very end of 2020 episode title.
Yeah. I have Being Incredibly Stupid, Fibonacci Sequence, The Navy SEALs of Biscuits, The 2 T's, Spiral Out, and Glass the Place. All 3 of us had Fibonacci Sequence in ours, so I'm going to put a check mark next to that one. The Navy SEALs of Biscuits is really good.
I do really like that one.
You can tell where my influence is coming into the show when that's the title.
I feel like those are probably the 2 leaders.
Yeah. those two. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Glass the Place because it's a really good reference.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a deep sci-fi cut for those people who don't know what it is.
Yeah.
My vote goes for the Navy SEAL Biscuits. You guys hash it out.
I think I would vote. I think I'd vote for that one.
That's fine.
It's too good to pass up.
Oh, Boston, I'm going to make a joke. You might have to cut me out of the intro.
I'll make a cut. I'll make a decision during editing.
Just don't say the whole word.
No, trust me. It's going to go dark. It's my favorite thing. It's something disguised as something light, but it's actually secretly very dark.
Okay. Is it just the MASH theme song?
No.
Okay.
There, yeah.
Let me know when you guys are
I
ready.
just want to hear what Moon has to say.
Yeah, now we're just... Inquiring minds want to know.
This is going to be bad.
You got to end 2020 with a bang, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Yep.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 686 for December 14th, 2020. The Navy SEALs of Biscuits.
You call that teabagging?
That wasn't that horrible.
No, I'm keeping that in.
Yeah.
That is gold.
I was torn between two, to be completely honest. It was that, and you call that teaboarding, but I wasn't sure if teaboarding would make sense.
Keyboarding would have been funny.
It's not as snappy as you call that teabagging, because that's good. Two thumbs up for that one. Oh, man. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
I was expecting you to go off the deep end and needing a beep or something.
Right.
That's what I was waiting for.
No, I know better than to swear. I just go dark.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deep six some biscuits, huh?
All right.
Just cut that out and put that right at the end.
Jeez. All right, thank you so very much, everyone, for listening and for watching. Best community on the internet. You all are the best. Thank you, especially the patrons. You're helping pay for this show, which is a huge bonus, especially in Hell Year 2020. It's one less thing to worry about, which is fantastic. We will see you guys. We'll be back on the 3rd of January. We'll be live again at our usual time because we won't be recording a super long episode before we record another super long episode. So we'll see you next year, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Happy holidays, however you celebrate, bar humbug, etc.
Yeah, happy holidays. Have fun.
Yeah.
Love each other. Stay away from each
That's
other.
right. Be safe. Don't go near people. Yeah. And we can stop recording. Click.